guys, so today I am going to do a little bit of a different video. I know that normally every week I've been doing pregnancy updates, but I don't have much to update on this week, so I thought instead it might be kind of neat to do the get to know me tag instead, because I know that there are a lot of you guys that comment and follow my pregnancy updates, but don't watch our vlog videos, and so I thought it might be kind of neat for you guys to get to know me on a personal level more than just on the parenting and being pregnancy level. So we're gonna get into this because there's a lot of questions. First name is Arianna-Lynn, my middle name is Ashley, and my last name is pronounced Pflederer. Take the P and the last ER off and it's actually a lot more simple to say. So growing up, I actually didn't really have that many nicknames. I did go by Ari, which my family calls me, but I prefer to not have anyone else call me that because I like Arianna better. But other than that, the first 3 days in the hospital, I think it was 3, I didn't have a name yet, and so they called me Boo Boo. So there were a few family members like my godmother who always called me Boo Boo. January 11th, and I am 21, so I was born in 1993. So I was born in Illinois, which is currently also where I live. I live in the suburbs of Chicago, but I grew up until I was about 7, I lived in Bensonville. I don't really follow horoscopes much, except just randomly for fun I'll look at them, but I am a Capricorn. I do not have an actual like 9-to-5 occupation job, but I am the sole YouTube editor. We have our vlog channel that we upload on every single day, and then this my pregnancy mom channel, which I upload or try to upload at least once a week. So I'm the sole editor and uploader of our YouTube videos, and then I also run our social media sites to make sure we kind of answer your guys' comments and messages and stuff. But other than that, I am a stay-at-home wife, soon to be upgraded to a stay-at-home mom. As you can see right now, my hair is dyed pretty much brown. I'm pulling off the non-attractive ombre look. I haven't dyed my hair since I got pregnant, but I was born with, I think, like a really dirty blonde hair. Then my hair went really blonde, and then eventually it went back to a dirty blonde, mousy brown color. It's kind of ugly. So my hair actually, I have to sit up now for you to see how long it is. It's grown a lot since I got pregnant. This is the longest it's ever been. My hair is very strange though, in that this side grows way faster than this side. So every time I go in to get my hair cut, they literally stare at my hair for a good while because they're confused why this side is 3 inches longer. No idea why it does it, but I guess my hair length would be considered long, I think. My eyes are considered hazel, but not the hazel that really changes colors. They are like a greenish-y brown, and then they have yellow around the outer rim. So they are the hazel that just doesn't change colors, but they can't constitute as brown and they can't constitute as green, so they call them hazel. So my favorite feature would probably also have to be my eyes as well. I just like that they're not just a plain brown or a plain blue or a plain green. I like that they are like their own color. I've only met one other person that had the same color eyes as me, and so that's pretty neat, I guess. And I guess I like it. I guess I like it. No, I did not ever have braces. These are my teeth. I did get my dad's genes when it came to my teeth, which means a good thing and a bad thing. They are very straight and I never needed braces, but they're very prone to cavities, so that is not so much fun. I do have these ear piercings right here, but I never wear anything in them, and that is because my ears are literally allergic to everything. The most I can wear earrings is if they are like actual real gold, but still I can't wear them very long. There is a YouTuber that just did a video where she got asked this question, and she had said that she can only wear like 24 karat gold earrings, and that's the only thing that doesn't bug her. So I'm curious if maybe those wouldn't bug my ears, but I haven't worn earrings in so long that I think they might even be closed. And then I also, my sophomore year of high school, decided to go against my mother's wishes and get my belly button pierced. So I did that, and I haven't had that in for quite a while now, and I think it's even closed, but there is still a hole there. Which you get stuck with the choices you make. So, but I did have that pierced when I was younger. Tattoos. No, I do not have any tattoos anywhere. I did think about it at some point, but I think tattoos are beautiful on people. I'm actually not a fan of colored tattoos though, unless they're done really well. And I grew up with my dad who had tattoos, and I just decided not to get them. And my husband is very old school in that he just likes like your body the way that it was made. He doesn't like ear piercings actually. He actually didn't even tell me till later that he didn't like belly button rings. And so yeah, he's just very old school in that fact that he doesn't like anything, and I'm kind of glad that I had waited out my wanting of a tattoo and decided not to. Even though I think they're beautiful and I really like them on other people, I don't think I will ever get one. I am a full-blown righty. So my first best friend was also named Ryan, just like my husband, and he was my across the street neighbor when I lived in Bensonville, and he and I grew up together until I moved away when my parents divorced when I was 7. And so yeah, it's kind of funny actually, because the first boy I ever kissed, because obviously I grew up with him, so we played house and stuff like that, he was the first boy I ever kissed, and his name was Ryan, and then the last boy I ever kissed, my husband, is also named Ryan, which is kind of funny, I think. But yeah, he was my best friend. He also had 2 older sisters who I was friends with as well, but me and Ryan were only a year apart, so we were a lot closer. I actually can't remember my first award. I can think of 2, but I don't know which one came first, because they were both when I was back in Bensonville. So the first possible option was the local fire department actually held this contest where you had to make like a plan of your house and show your fire escape routes depending on what rooms you were in. And I did like a 3D pop-up one with which obviously my mother and my sister helped me with because I was like 6. But I ended up winning state, and so I got to go to a firefighter banquet, and then I got like this certification plaque as well as some savings bonds and stuff. So that was pretty neat. And so it was either that, or I don't even know if you'd consider this because I was 3rd runner-up, but I can't remember if I was 6 or 7, but my mom did enter me into the Miss Junior Preteen Chicago, and so I won 3rd runner-up for that. I don't know if you would consider an award for a 3rd runner-up, but I got a trophy, so maybe it counts. My first sport, I know a lot of people consider dance a sport, and so when I was 2, I was entered into ballet, but I only did that for like a year or something. So when I was 3, I entered gymnastics. So that was like my first official sport that I did for several years. So yeah, I'm not 100% sure if they mean like holiday, or if this tag was made in the UK, then they mean vacation. But I'll answer both just in case. So my favorite holiday when it comes to what that means in the US would be, I think, I was born in January, so Valentine's Day. I don't know if that would be considered like a real holiday. So my first like official, like everyone has off of work holiday would be 4th of July, I think, possibly. Yeah, I think that might possibly be my first like real holiday. But if you mean holiday like what it means overseas, so my first vacation, then I honestly don't know for sure. Most likely it would either be going to my great-grandma's lake house in Canada or going to my grandparents' farm in Missouri. So one of those 2. My first concert was NSYNC, and it was their No Strings Attached concert. When it comes to films, I am actually not a girly girl at all. Actually, in real life, I'm not much of a girly girl, but I'm not a fan of chick flicks or love movies. I don't really watch them that much. So I am more of a fan of sci-fi action movies, actually. So pretty much any type of superhero movies, so like Marvel movies, X-Men, Iron Man, Thor, like any of those movies, as well as Transformers, which I'm a big Transformers fan, then it would probably be one of those. Sad to say, I did not ever read any of the comics, so I can't say like that I know the real stories of the superheroes and stuff like that, but I am a big fan of the movies. So all my TV shows you will find have that strange character that is kind of awkwardly social or just hilariously awkwardly social, and they have a lot of knowledge on a certain subject or a lot of subjects. So the first one that comes to mind that I absolutely love is Doctor Who, and then Sherlock, the BBC version. And then I would also have to put Bones up there with my favorites. I also really love Criminal Minds. And then as well as the last one I'd probably say is Lie to Me, which is really sad because that only had 3 seasons, so they never actually had like an official ending. But you can find it on Netflix. It was a really good show. I wish that they had continued it on because it was like really, really good. I changed my favorite color so much that I honestly couldn't even tell you what it is right now. It's more so that I see a color, I become obsessed with it for a short while, and then I change it again. But when it comes to decoration in my home and stuff, I stay pretty neutral. But yeah, I can't really fully answer this question. I really can't say what my favorite song is. I am a musician, as some of you guys may know, and I sing and play guitar, and so I just love music as a whole. There are certain genres that I'm not a big fan of, but mainly I really love harmonizing to music. So usually any of my top favorite songs is something that I really enjoy harmonizing to, but other than that, not really sure, just because I change my mind so much on what I'm listening to at the time, and I just like music as a whole. If we're talking a quicker restaurant, then it definitely has to be Chipotle, and if it's a sit-down restaurant, then Olive Garden or Texas Roadhouse. My favorite store, hands down, is probably Etsy, and I don't know if this will count for this answer, but yes, I'm a girl and I love to shop, but there is no particular like walk-in store that I find myself having to go to all the time. So Etsy is a place that I am always on and I'm always buying things from, so I definitely would have to go with that. I actually only read a lot of self-help books now. I haven't read any fiction books since probably high school, and maybe one or two. When it comes to self-help book favorites, the two that come to mind are His Needs, Her Needs and The 5 Love Languages. I just feel that when you are in a serious relationship like a marriage and your marriage is going well, then a lot of things outside your marriage also tend to be going smoothly. Fiction books though, the ones that I read like the most frequently and read a couple times, embarrassingly enough, is Twilight. Yeah, I finished each of those books in less than 3 days, not all 4 of them. Like each book I finished in under 3 days. I think a majority of them under 2 days. So yeah. I'm not afraid to admit though that she has terrible grammar and she uses the word dubious way too much, but there's something about those books that I just finished them all in seconds, and I've read those books faster than any other ones. And I do actually like the movies as well. The first movie, I never realized until I watched them all back to back that the first movie acting is like the worst acting I've ever seen in my life. But when you really like the books and you get into them, you kind of have a different appreciation for the movies, I feel. So yeah, it's kind of a guilty pleasure, and I'll admit it. I actually do not read any magazines unless you can count my obsession with really liking to look at the IKEA magazine when I was younger. But other than that, really nothing. I had Women's Health for a while and I really enjoyed that one, but other than that, not really anything. My favorite shoes definitely have to be my crocheted Toms. They are the most comfortable thing in the world. They were also my wedding shoes, and I only wore them like 3 times before I got married for my dress fittings, and stupidly enough did not think to wear them before that to try and break them in, but I had absolutely no blisters, no pain the day of my wedding, and I wore them the whole time. And Toms are just seriously like the most comfortable shoes. I definitely will be stocking up with those for my mom wardrobe because I just know they're so comfortable. Currently feeling like this video is going to be very long. I am completely taken, I am married and very happy. I'm not eating anything, so yeah. I'm listening to my upstairs neighbor walk around because he's noisy. Oh, and the baby upstairs just started crying too, so now I hear their baby crying. Currently, I'm thinking about the baby crying upstairs and whether Revelyn will be a crier as well, because their little one is a crier for sure. Currently, I am watching the camera or my viewfinder with me in it to make sure like I'm in it, I guess. And then the window's right here, so occasionally someone walks by and I watch them and see if they look at me like I'm a weirdo because I'm recording myself in my bedroom. Currently, I am wearing this maternity sweatery thing. Yes, it's from Old Navy. Yes, of course I want children. I hope so because I have one in my stomach right now. But we want a lot of kids. The funny thing is right before we got married, I actually didn't want kids at all. And then I slowly changed my mind and now I'm like, I'll have a bazillion of them. But our plan thus far is to have 4 of our own most likely and adopt 2. So yes, we may end up with 6 kids, but eventually we aren't 100% sure on the numbers, but we would like to at least adopt 2 kids. Ryan really wants to adopt a little boy from Kenya, and I haven't decided from where yet. I may possibly adopt a little girl from the US, so I haven't decided yet, but we do know that we would like to adopt 2 children at some point in our future. Well, yes, I want to be married, but I'm already married, so I did already fulfill this. I don't have any future careers in mind besides just being a stay-at-home mom. As long as everything in our future allots, I would really just like to stay home with our kids the entire time. So I'm sure this is not surprising to most. We don't want to stay in Illinois. We don't like Illinois. It's just not our favorite place. We really would most likely probably end up moving out west. Not completely to like California west, but probably Wyoming, Colorado area. And the only other option is south of us, which would be Tennessee. So it's between Tennessee is like the only state, or the Wyoming, Colorado area. That's where we eventually would like to permanently settle down. Yes, I do believe in God. If you guys follow our vlog channel, then you know that me and my husband are Christians, and so this is something that is a regular daily part of our lives. And so yes, the answer is of course I do. Yes, I do believe in miracles, but of course, because I am a Christian and I believe in God, I believe that those miracles are provided by Him. So yes. No, I can't say that I believe in this. I think when you truly, truly love someone, you have to know them as a person, and it can't just be like, oh, I saw that person and I loved them. You know what I mean? I believe that there are people that saw a person for the first time and thought, I'm gonna marry that girl or I'm gonna marry that man. I could believe that people would say that, but I don't believe that they like truly loved them at first sight. I think you really need to know them as a person before that can happen, but I do think that there are people that literally see someone and are like, I think I'm gonna marry that girl, or I think I'm gonna marry that man someday, because I have actually heard a lot of stories of that actually happening, but I don't think that they truly love them yet. This is a tough one for me. I'm not gonna get too into it because it could get controversial religious-wise and stuff like that, but I do believe in some sense that ghosts do exist, and I will leave it at that. I've never had to actually like seriously answer this question. I don't think that I do. I know a lot of people think like the government hides things from us, but I think if they existed that we would really know by now. I don't think that they do, especially because, like I said, I believe in God, and I think that they would have been mentioned in the Bible somewhere, possibly. So for me personally, I don't believe in them. I think it would be cool if like there was other beings somewhere, but I don't think that there are. I do, to some extent, believe in soulmates, and I have to figure out how to explain this, but I don't necessarily think that you only have one soulmate, just because I know that a lot of people, they unfortunately lose their spouses and they are able to find love again. And so I think that, for me personally, I think God puts a person on this planet for each person, and that some people may lose that person unexpectedly, and that God may have had another person in mind for them. So I do believe that there is people specifically out there for each person that they're supposed to be with, but not necessarily that, you know, if your soulmate unexpectedly died, that there'd be nobody else out there for you. Because we know that's not true, because there's lots of stories of people finding love again after. So I don't know, it's kind of a confusing subject, I guess, but I do think that there is like specific people out there for each person. Yes, I do believe in heaven and hell. I love how we just randomly went from like really serious topics to kissing on the first date. I don't know, I think it's to each their own. I got married right out of high school, so I never really had like a dating, you know, I never really had a real dating experience, because I feel like the actual like, I'm going out on my first date with someone doesn't happen until, you know, you reach maybe college or a little bit later. Otherwise, it's just kind of you've been hanging out with someone in a friend group, and then you guys grow a relationship, and then eventually it might turn into something else. So I never really got to experience like an actual date. I do think you should play a little hard to get, but then again, you know, every person's different and they make their decisions, and so I don't know, I feel like I can't really answer this question just based solely upon the fact that I've never been on like an actual first date, because dating scene I don't feel happens till after you get out of high school, and I got married right out of high school, so I don't know. And this is the last question. So, do I believe in myself? If I had asked myself this a couple years ago, I probably would have said no, just because I was very depressed and I was just having a lot of difficulties in life. But now I would say that yes, I do believe in myself. I think I have my days where I'm like, Arianna, you're being an idiot, you know, like, what are you doing? But I think, you know, for majority, yes, I believe in myself, and I know that I'm going to accomplish the things that I want to accomplish in my life. I think that with anybody, it's a daily thing that you have to remind yourself that, you know, you can do the things you want to do. You just have to keep staying positive. So that's gonna be it for these questions. I hope this video didn't turn out too long, but we'll find out when I edit. So I will see you guys next week with my 29-week update. I hope you had a fantastic week, and I will see you guys later. Bye.